Good morning, everybody, and welcome, to today's Facebook Live. My name's Jenny McCormack. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm based in the market town of Brackley in the UK. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. If you're watching live and you have any comments or questions, then please feel free to jump in and ask those as we go along. If you're watching on catch up, then and you have any queries or comments, then feel free to add those, and I do check the running comments on a regular basis, so always feel free to be able to do that. So yesterday, if you joined us, we used a fab new single background stamp called Daisy Garden, which is this one here, and I created just some easy cards using two different colours. So I used in the main our polished pink, and then I used early espresso just to offset that in terms of the sentiment and the background layer. It is a big stamp, so I recommend using the Stamparatus, or you could lay the stamp up and place your card on the top to get a good impression. Right, so yesterday I created this one, and if you're watching me, when I came to do the inner, I did the inside layer in landscape format by mistake. So after the session had finished, I went on to create a landscape card, same sort of design, just so that I could use that inner up that I had started. So two cards came out of that yesterday. But it is a really nice stamp, and especially if you've got lots of cards to do, because it allows you to do them quickly and easily. So these are our two from yesterday, and today I was going to colour in the whole panel. Morning, Kerry. But yesterday after the live, I thought, oh, I'll just have a little go at colouring in, and so I did, and I then went on to colour the whole panel. So I thought there's not a great deal of point of me just colouring in a single piece for you today. Morning, Jeanette. So what I am going to do is the spotlight technique, which is something I talked about yesterday. It's a very easy technique to do. You can do it with a punch, and basically what it means is you take your image, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. You take your image and then you find an area to spotlight, and then typically you cut that out, or you can just colour it on the panel. So what I've done to save time is I have taken the image again. This time I took a die and I've cut out the portion that I'm going to spotlight. So basically what I'm going to do is just colour in this section, okay, and then put it back. Now you can either use the same layer, or you could stamp it and then layer this on top, so that when you look underneath you see the whole image. So that's actually what I'm going to do today. So this works with any kind of stamp, so you can do it with a background stamp. You can also do it with any stamped image that you've created. Just take a panel out of it, colour that panel in, and then replace it on the top. Now I haven't trimmed down this card yet, and I'm still going to use this for something else later, but that would make a fun little front for a shaker card. As you can see, I've got a little bit carried away with my stamping because I like the image so much. So pretty. So this is the one that I coloured in yesterday, and I think I'm going to do the purples again. Thank you, Kerry. As I know a lot of people like purple. I know Jeanette, it's one of her favourite colours, and Tracy and Sue. So a lot of people like purple. So what I'm going to do is colour just this part in, so that you're not sitting watching me colour the whole panel. And then I'm going to layer that up. So the colours I've got just to hand, this is Highland Heather, and I've got a set of Granny Apple Green for the leaves. Now what I would say, if you're doing a lot of this, it's a lot easier to colour in, as long as you've coloured the area that you want, and then cut it out, because obviously this is a little bit going to move around. So what I'm going to do is just attach it to a temporarily to a sheet of paper, so that it's easier for me to move around rather than holding on to the edge. I did have fun, Kerry. I wasn't wasn't really expecting to do all of that, but I just love the image so much, and in fact I think it's really nice even just like that. Really pretty. So I've just got this piece of scrap paper, and all I'm going to do is just attach it lightly on the back of there. Yeah, there we go. Just a little bit of glue, just making it not quite so tacky. It doesn't matter if it sticks to this, because I can pull a bit of that off anyway, but it just makes it easier to colour rather than holding on to a small amount. So really nothing difficult about colouring this in. As you know, I'm certainly not an expert in colouring, but I'm just going to start from the centre with my dark Highland Heather, with a sort of I call it a feathering motion, where you've got more emphasis in the centre and then it's blending out. Like so. And then you can add some on the tips, but you can also add a little bit where the petals overlap. Like so. And then I'm going to take the light Highland Heather and then just blend that out. I went to the opticians last week, and I'm in desperate need of new glasses, because I find this is quite difficult to see. Obviously I'm a little bit further away than I would be, because I've got a camera between me and my image, but so I have some new crafting varifocals that will allow me to colour in with my glasses. Sometimes I take my glasses right off. I'm short-sighted, but my eyesight has definitely changed, and I have a cataract in my right eye as well, which is more pronounced than before. Okay, so I'm just going to do these really quickly. As I say, the large image takes a bit of colouring in. So although it was my intention to do that with you, there wasn't really a great deal of point. which is why Spotlight technique is perfect for that. There we go. So the colour goes in like that. And then the centres I did on here with the Daffodil Delight. I might use mango or something this time. And I would say these are not really daisy colours, but that's nice thing about card making, is you have opportunity for artistic license. I could leave the edge of this, so this has got stitching, so I could leave the very edge uncoloured. That would look quite nice too. Morning, Tracy. Your ears must have been burning. I was talking about people who love the colour purple, and I know that's one of your favourites. So we're doing the Spotlight technique, Tracy. I don't know if you've done that one before or not, where you take just a segment of an image and colour that in, and then this is going to go back in. So using that same background stamp. Okay. There we go. So at the moment it's set for a fair day here. Oh, you've not tried it? Ah, it's a really useful one to do where you've got a large area you don't want to colour in. So this was my coloured in version that I did last night, and I decided you didn't all need to see me sit and colour that whole image. So I mentioned the Spotlight technique yesterday, and I thought this is a perfect opportunity to show you. And normally I would do this probably off centre, but I wanted to choose the way that I'd stamped it, you know, a nice selection of flowers. If I'd done it off centre, you'd have only had, you know, like 2 flowers. So that's why in this case I've done it fairly central, but that was coincidental. Morning, Brenda. And you can also do it with more than one section, so you could punch out, you know, 2 or 3 small areas to spotlight. So I used a die, but a punch would do, or you could cut a square manually. It tends to be a circle, but it doesn't have to be. So it's quite an effective technique. So as I was saying, it was nice and bright and sunny a minute ago. So certainly better weather than they originally forecast. There we go. There we have it. Okay. I think I've got everything that I can see. So the rest are leaves and stalks. I think I'm going to do more of an orange centre. So let me just grab this. I've got pumpkin pie. I might try either mango or daffodil. Let's try mango. I'll try it on this edge, see. Okay, so that's dark mango. And this is dark daffodil. So I think what I'm going to do is that, and then just use the dark mango to sort of dot in there to make it a little bit more 3D. So just adding some dots like that. Just going to have a little bit of my coffee, excuse me. I'm just going to move away from the microphone. To waste a good cup of coffee. There we go. So I wonder who's crafting this afternoon or today. I expect Tracy will be. I desperately need to mow my lawn, but it's very long and very wet at the moment. Okay, so I've just dotted that in to give it a little bit of interest. I'm not sure that you can see that particularly well on there. Okay, and then let's do the leaves and the stalks. So I've got dark granny apple green, so I'm just going to run that along the edge of those and where the veins are here. Edge of there. There we go. That one. And then just using the light to blend that in. Like so. Work out what this is leaf. And then down here. Hello, Babsy. Oh, Tracy's crocheting at the moment. Nice to have you join us, Babsy. That's the nice thing about crochet, Tracy, is you can watch and crochet at the same time, can't you? Well, you can. Not sure that I'd be able to. I think I'd be concentrating too hard on what I was doing, but there we go. So we're doing the spotlight technique, Babsy, which I'm sure you will have done. I think there's a bit of leaf in there, like that. Oh, and there's a bit in there, like so. Oh, brilliant, Brenda. So Brenda's going to be crafting today with some, finishing up some half-made cards. And I really do like doing that if I've got lots of bits and pieces, just sitting there making them up. Okay, so that was our full coloured in version. This is our spotlight coloured in version. So I'm just going to peel that off of here. So I just popped it on there to make it easier to colour in. Okay, so I'm just going to decide now whether I'm going to pop it on the cutout version or a full version. I have got a gorgeous grape base card, and I know this isn't cut down. I deliberately left it large so that I could trim where I wanted to. So I'm also going to trim off the bottom because I want the stalks to be cut off, and then trim either side. Oh, hi Katie, don't apologise. So we're doing the spotlight technique where you cut out a segment of an image, colour that in, and then put it back, usually on some dimensionals like that. But you could just reinsert it exactly as is if you wanted to. So it is a nice technique, isn't it? And nice and simple. As I say, it doesn't have to be a circle. You could cut a square. A punch is perfect. You could even do a shaped punch as well. So let me trim this layer down, and I'm not sure if I'm going to put a layer behind this or not. So let's just cut that off the bottom. And I think I've got a little bit more on this side. Like so. Okay. So that's going to fit directly onto there. So I think I am going to keep it as a single layer like that. Oh, it's a new one for you, Kate, as well. Excellent. Oh, well, everybody's finishing off cards today. That's good. So I can slot this straight back in here, like that. I can lift it on dimensionals, or I can put it on another fully printed piece. And I'm not quite sure which one to do. So what do you reckon? Shall I pop? It makes sense to use this one because then I'm not wasting another piece, am I? Although you could use that with a, you know, a big sentiment on top. So yeah, maybe I will just put it back in, maybe not even on dimensionals. Okay, now lifting it up, says Kerry. Yes. So I do have some gorgeous grape ribbon, which I'm going to wrap around here. So yes, let's do that. I like it. Babsy says, don't waste a newly printed card. Well, they are all just so nice, aren't they? I have to say, I just couldn't stop yesterday. And when it was on the Stamparatus, it made sense just to keep, you know, stamping more images. So this is stamped in Surprise, Surprise Early Espresso. And the ones that I did yesterday were stamped in just a single colour of polished pink. So if you didn't see those, you can hop back to yesterday's Facebook Live or catch it on YouTube. And then the inside, I've added the stamped inner. Oh, thank you, Sue. Right, so I'm going to wrap this round here. So let's pop some glue on the reverse. Once we'll do this ready to layer it up. So just using our Seal Plus, and you just need a light touch with this. Oops. So I'm going to wrap this round here. Like so, and then I'm going to add a little knot, like a faux bow. Okay, just want to tighten that slightly. And then pop this down here. There we go. So it looks like lots of crafting is going to be done today. So Sue joins us from Australia. So have you done any crafting today, Sue? Dimensionals. I'll just cut up these odd strips and use these up. There we go. Let's put one in the middle, just to give it some support. Oh, well done, Sue. Good girl. Yes, I need to check my birthday calendar for anything coming up. Make sure I don't miss anything. So easily done, isn't it? Right. So, just going to take a minute to get that, hopefully, lined up. There we go. So that is raised up, and I'm just going to add a bow here. So I think the nice thing about this set is this stamp is that you can just have it plain. You don't have to have a sentiment on. And thank you, Kerry. And then you could use it for any occasion. So on these ones I've added the word smile. This would look lovely in Gorgeous Grape, wouldn't it, as well, just stamped. So let's just knot this. Just going to cut this little bit off. This is an offcut of Gorgeous Grape ribbon. Thank you. As I said yesterday, it would make a nice wedding acceptance or wedding invite card if you use the wedding colours. It'd also be a nice sympathy card if you did it in very muted colours. Brown on vanilla, for example. Espresso on vanilla, maybe. Okay, I'm going to sit that down like that. There we are. And it's 10:30. Oh, bless you, Kate. Thank you. So, there we have. So this is the full coloured in version, which I didn't do this morning. I did it yesterday, and I decided you didn't need to see me colour the whole thing in. And then this is the Spotlight Technique version, where you just cut out a section and colour that in, and then replace it. And as requested, I've lifted that up on some dimensionals. And then what I will do is just put an inner in here, and I might just stamp you know, a top section of that on the inside. Or what I could do, which I think I might do, is stamp this again, but in crumb cake. So actually I'm going to do that now, if anybody wants to stay and watch. Just so you've got almost like a watermark image on the inside. So let me grab a piece of card. This is the better one. This is our thin one. we go. I think I cleaned this off yesterday. Hope I did. And so what I'm going to do is basically watermark this. Actually, I could do it in Versamark, couldn't I? Let's just pop that down. There we go. Thank you, Jeanette. So let's just try. Actually, I'm thinking Sahara sand. It's really pale. May not work, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. Just see if it works. If it doesn't matter. Okay. So this is Sahara sand. If it's too dark, I might turn it over and do a second impression. Let's move this up a bit, sorry. That's what. Press it hard enough in the centre. Oh, I didn't ink it up enough. Let's have a look and see. So I'm going to turn this over because I want it really light. I'm going to trim this down anyway, so I'm not worried that it's not in the exact centre. Just pressing extra hard because I know it's going to be very light. Let's have a look, see. Not sure. I think the theory was better than the practice. Let's have a look and see. Oh, I've just realised I missed that. I can see the ink on the stamp. I'm just going to cut it down and have a look. I think maybe it's too light and not enough definition. But you never know. Let's cut it down a little bit further. Let's see. Like so. There we go. So that on the inside. I'm not sure that that has worked the way that I wanted it to. I think because there's so much detail. Try and see, I like it. Oh, thank you, Brenda. I mean, it does sort of work, but not how I wanted it. Maybe if I'd just done Versamark so it was very light, I don't know. Maybe because it's too detailed an image, but anyway, there we go. So that is today's cards, and as I say, if you haven't seen yesterday's, you can hop over to yesterday's one where I just did some straightforward stamping and layering. Oh, of course, Kerry, is that better? That one? And then this one here, whoops. So that was the image there. And that one. Oh, the inside piece. There you go, Kerry. It's quite difficult to see. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me today. I will be back tomorrow, Thursday, at 7 p.m. UK time, and I'm going to be doing this same stamp, but I'm going to be heat embossing. So I was thinking that it would look really stunning white on black. So that is my plan for tomorrow. So I hope you're able to join me, and if you can't join me live, you can watch on replay on Facebook, or you can hop over to my YouTube channel. Just search for Jemini Crafts or Jenny McCormack. Thank you so much for joining me today. Enjoy your crafting, ladies that are going to be finishing up. If you're a customer of mine, do feel free to post in our VIP group, and you're also always welcome to post on my Jemini Crafts Facebook page. Let me move those up a little bit. There we go. So thanks for joining me today, and enjoy the rest of your day or evening, depending on where you are. Look after yourselves and your loved ones. Do take care. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're able to join me for another crafting session. In the meantime, take care. Bye for now. Bye bye.